There's really no good way to start this video. I've actually started and stopped and like restarted recording like 8 times already. And I'm just going to kind of go with it and probably mumble through things. And I hope you guys will just hang with me. I should have had this video for you a long time ago. A long time ago, but in August I was given the opportunity to attend the Pokemon World Championships in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I had this really grandeur idea of like having somebody throw all of the footage together, all the edits together, and make something really sick that would convey what it is like to kind of attend a Pokemon World Championship. I have never had the opportunity to attend one before. The timing of the World Tournament is very difficult because it's right at the time of my oldest daughter's birthday, so that it kind of competes with that, and also it's right at the time of school starting back up. So it's always very difficult for us to kind of attend Worlds. Not to mention the fact that it's been far away for the past several years, right? We had a couple of years where the World Championships didn't happen because of everything that was going on with the pandemic, and then it was overseas twice, back-to-back years, and now it's in the United States, but it was in Hawaii, which is also very, very far to get to. So when I originally heard about when I originally talked about getting access to the event, I was like, well, this is going to be very, very difficult. And ultimately, I wasn't going to go until about a month prior to the World Tournament started. So back in July is when my wife and I sat down, and my family and I sat down. We're like, okay, well, let's make this work. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. We have no idea what to expect, and it was absolutely incredible. And I thought maybe throwing everything together like in this really cool edit would be a way to kind of show you guys what it's like, because I'm a huge proponent of competitive Pokemon, but also from a casual side and a collecting side and attending events and getting together with like-minded individuals and really enjoying yourself and enjoying the community. And that's what this is all about. But I couldn't do it. I'm not talented enough. I'm not gifted enough. I don't know enough about editing everything together. And ultimately what I ended up doing is I ended up just taking my footage and getting rid of everything. And we're just going to add a bunch. We're going to watch it together, and I'm just going to kind of talk through things and kind of just show you what it's like a little bit. And it doesn't do it any justice whatsoever. But before I jump into things, I do want to say thank you. Like, honestly, thank you guys so much. This opportunity would not have happened without you guys. All the subscribers, all the likes, all the comments. Like, when I talk to you guys about this channel being yours, and we give back, and we like to give back, and we like to give stuff away, that's not a joke. Like I don't know how to convey more than I already have what you guys mean to me and what you have done for me mentally. Like, it's just, you guys are absolutely amazing. You are phenomenal. Every time you just drop a like or drop a comment or like everything, you guys, thank you so much for everything. This, like I said, would not happen without you guys. And I look forward to next year's World Tournament in Anaheim. I hope that I can explain a little bit of what you guys want to see. Like, I hope to see you there. Like, honestly, I really do. I'm going to flip you guys around. I'm going to stop rambling, and we're going to jump into things. So I did actually talk during this part, but for some reason, the audio didn't come through. I don't know if I didn't turn my mic on properly, but this is day 1 of the actual Pokemon World Championship. So this is when I'm walking into the venue, and it's really, really cool how it's all set up, because you have all the staff, all the judges that are lined up on the left-hand side, the right-hand side. I'm super shaky because I'm extremely nervous, but everybody's really welcoming everyone to the field. And this is right before the opening ceremony start. You can see we're like, if you look at the screens above, you're a little bit over an hour away. So we've got this giant Pikachu, but everybody on staff is just so welcoming. It was just such a great environment. And this, like I said, this is day 1. So this is Friday, right before the tournament starts. And we flew down on Monday. So we had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that we kind of got to do some things. We got to go to the Pokemon Center on Wednesday, or I got to go to the Pokemon Center on Wednesday. That was a lot of fun. We did a Pearl Harbor visit. We went and traveled the island a little bit, and just at our hotel alone. And I didn't record a whole lot of stuff that was going on over there, but there was so much to do for everybody, not just like adults or kids or anything, like everybody, like family activities and things like that. They had lei making ceremonies where you could go and you could make your own leis. They had different meet and greets with different characters, different Pokemon and things like that. It was a lot of fun. And I didn't record the opening ceremony because we did go live for the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony. So we've only got about 15 minutes of footage that we're actually going to look at right here. And the last few minutes are actually shorts that were already posted on Instagram and on YouTube. But I kind of wanted to add some context to it because it was such an amazing experience. experience. And just looking out at the crowd, so many different players, so many different competitors and spectators that are all over the place. This room was packed. It was absolutely jam full. And this is just the play area right here. So this is the stage. This is where people sat to watch the stream. Here's the trophy cards right here and the actual trophies for the winners of the TCG, VGC, Pokemon Unite, which was also going on, and Pokemon Go. So there's 4 different tournaments that kind of culminate all together. They had a lot of these little stands that were up all over the place. And I did fast forward through a lot of this as it moves a lot faster to kind of go over and show you what it looks like as the round started. It was very difficult to kind of walk through, but they have everything in different segues, different segments, like VGC, I think is what we're walking past right now, different divisions, the junior division, the senior division, the masters division, and this is the judge area over here, where you're going to go and you're going to find all of your match slip information, and you can speak to a judge or you can talk to somebody who's in charge of actually running the event. They'll put pairings up over here if you don't have access on your phone or something like that. And then over here, this is where all the trading card game players are actually sitting down and starting round 1 or round 2 or whatever round this was. And like I said, this is just the play area. It was absolutely packed. And then this is early on, day 1. As the day unfolds, obviously some people are going to start dropping. Some people are going to be eliminated from play. But ultimately, your main goal is to make it to the second day of play, which is going to be day 2. They did have some cool side event stuff that was going on later on in the afternoon. So you could sign up for different side events and things like that. So even if you're going just as a spectator, and this is why I encourage anybody to go to an event like this, even if it's just a regional event, or you want to just go to a world event and you can find spectator badges or something like that. There's side events all over the place that you can play and kind of like dip your feet in the water, which is really cool. So here's a prize wall over here where you can earn tickets for your actual side event, from your side event result. Like they'll have TCG side events and VGC side events and a lot of different things that you can do to earn tickets to kind of win some of those prizes that are up on the wall over there. Then there's another stream area over here for Pokemon Unite, and this is more of the play area right here. So right here, we're actually walking up to the second level of the convention hall, and this is where a lot of like the other extracurricular stuff. There wasn't any battles or anything like that up here. This was more just an area where you could go, and there were different things to do. So you could spend time at the actual event. So over here is the Pokemon Pocket display, where you could go and you could kind of test out what Pokemon Pocket is all about. They didn't have a whole lot of information. This was basically just, hey, come on up. You can open some packs. You can see kind of what the animation looks like and some cool things like that. So I did kind of test this out a little bit. It was a lot of fun. Obviously, Pokemon Pocket has already started launching in New Zealand, and we'll have more access to it worldwide at the end of October. But it was kind of a cool little demo area where you could kind of play around on the big screen and then also play around on different phones. Here's the trade area right here. This was kind of a mess. So I thought it would kind of be cool to walk in here and maybe make some trades and things like that, but it did not work out that way. A lot of people were looking like, hey, I'll trade you for your cards, but at 80% or whatever. And I was like, well, if it's just trading, like I don't want to trade. It was just weird. You could tell a lot of people in this area were more focused on selling cards and things like that. And you could actually come in and you could sit at a table like a lot of these people were doing, and you could just like lay out your binders and you could sit in there for hours at a time just to kind of trade with people, which is a cool concept. And they tried their best. You could tell the Pokemon Company tried their best to kind of police things as much as they possibly could. But there was obviously a lot of stuff that was going on that shouldn't be going on, but a lot of different cool things that were set up all over the place. You can see sleeves over here. There were some areas with play mats and things like that, but also a lot of cool cards. There's people who travel all over from every different area of the world, which is kind of cool. So you can kind of get a feel for different promos and things like that that are all over. And this was packed. It was a very busy area. This right here is like a Genki. I think it was called Genki Ball, which is like a way that Pokemon was giving back. So this was another room right here. And basically what you do is you make this Genki Ball that you put into the canal that goes into, filters into the ocean and things like that, that cleans up all the sludge. It was a really cool concept. There was a lot of information. There were actual representatives who came in that were not necessarily affiliated with Pokemon, but just something that you could do as a family. And here I am just kind of sifting through, getting the mud and the dirt all together so that way we could make a Genki Ball, and they have to harden for like a week, which was really cool. And then later on in the day, everybody together actually went out to the canal and they dropped these in the canal. They hardened for a week, and then they clean up the sludge, they help with the oxygen levels, things like that. It was a really cool concept, and they were kind of explaining, but this was something that I think was a little bit different, a different experience that you could kind of have outside of just Pokemon, but just Pokemon kind of giving back to the community and things like that. So this was something that was entertaining. There wasn't a whole lot of time that it took. It only took about 15 minutes to kind of go through this entire process right here, but you do get to go through, and they tell you all about it. They talk to you about all the details and things like that. So it was something different that I wasn't necessarily expecting, and it was outside of the world of Pokemon that I'm used to. It was just a way Pokemon does such a great job of kind of giving back and doing different things like to give back and improve the community. So this was something that was really neat. One area that I didn't get to go into, or I did go into, but they didn't want me to film, was a hall of a museum. It was basically a museum that kind of showcased all the different World Championships throughout the years and had memorabilia and things like that, which was really, really cool to kind of look at, but they didn't want me to film in there, unfortunately, so I don't have any footage from that. So here we are over here kind of making the Genki balls into like hard formed rocks, which was really, really cool. So she's kind of explaining everything to me and telling me what to do right here. It was really neat. It was actually a really cool experience to kind of learn about it all, but everybody was very friendly. Everybody was very nice. But again, it was just something different that you don't typically experience with Pokemon. So those hardened for a week. Really, really cool. They had all of the illustrations, and this is going to go super fast because I actually filmed quite a bit in here because I was so in awe of how great everybody is. Like, I make fun of myself all the time for bad thumbnails and for bad edits and things like that. These people who make these illustrations are absolutely fantastic. Like, what they can do is so phenomenal. So this is like the top 100. I'm actually getting dizzy just looking at it, so I can't even imagine what you guys are thinking. This is like the 100 finalists of the TCG illustration contest, and I think there was like 6 or 7 different Pokemon that you could choose from to illustrate. Obviously, you had Bidoof, you had Charizard, you had Pikachu, you had Absol, you had Koraidon. I think it was Crocodile that you could do. Eevee was one of them, or Feraligatr, maybe that was it. Flygon. There was some really cool artwork, and I am really glad. Melmetal, Toxtricity, that was another one. I'm really glad that I could not judge something like this, but it was absolutely phenomenal just kind of looking at all of the artwork and reading up. I could have spent a lot more time in here than what I did, but I kind of wanted to showcase all the different artworks, even though we're speeding through it super quickly. I do have the full footage of it if anybody is ever interested, but it was really cool to experience. So this was just another room that you could go into. There was like 5 or 6 different rooms outside of the Pokemon Center in general. This is like a brand new thing as far as what I'm told. So this was actually a vending area where there were 4 different stores that were from Hawaii, so local to Hawaii. They might have been on different islands, but really cool concept where Pokemon had an actual dedicated vendor space. So this was next to the trade area, so you could go into the room and trade cards, or you could come into here and you could buy cards, you could sell cards to some of the vendors. Really, really cool concept. I don't think they've ever done anything like this before. Usually it'll just be like the Pokemon Center that has an actual storefront, and they won't have singles or anything like that. But this was a really cool concept because it gave players access to singles if they didn't do as well as they wanted to in the actual event itself and they wanted to play in side events, or maybe they wanted to throw together some decks for future testing that they saw did well. Like Iron Thorns obviously came out of nowhere in the event and ended up winning the entire thing. Well, then you could go up to an actual vendor area and you could buy the cards that you needed for Iron Thorns. But they had a lot of different really cool pieces in here, boxes, old theme decks, like vintage theme decks, things like that, that you might not necessarily see in a lot of other areas, but it was all Pokemon related. They had a lot of stuff from overseas as well. It was really, really cool to kind of get this like Pokemon giving the experience to some different stores, especially some local stores, which I thought was really cool. I met a lot of people there. They were super nice. The people who came in and they were vending this event, I can't say enough good things about them. It was absolutely amazing. Every single night they had a drone show. This is going to go pretty quick. I think the drone show was actually about 8 minutes. So I think they had one on Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Saturday night. No, Thursday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. There was not any drone show on Friday night because they did fireworks on Friday night, but this was actually really cool. soundtrack for the World Championships is actually available, I believe, on Spotify, that you could download it if you wanted to. But they had some amazing music for the World Championships. And I have never really seen a drone show before, but this was really, really neat how they kind of put everything together. And it's all done towards music. And like I said, it's only about 8 minutes long, so it's not too long. But everybody kind of gathered around on the beach and watched this drone show every single night. And it was done so well. It was so cool. Obviously, everybody's shouting out each of the Pokemon and things like that. But there was a lot to do at this hotel in specific. Obviously, they had the drone show at night, but even during the day, like I said before, you had meet and greets. They had different areas where you could have signings and things like that in different areas. And the actual Pokemon Center was there where they would answer questions and things, where they had different activities like Alolan Executor bowling. We had a podcast that we did on Friday night and Thursday night. The Shadowless podcast was live down there on the Great Lawn. So that was really cool because that was the first time Pokemon actually did a podcast or allowed a podcast to be broadcasted live on the at the actual event. So the Pokemon trying a lot of new things, which I thought was really cool, and being open to the idea. They did a fantastic job. But this drone show was really, really cool. Definitely a good highlight to the night, kind of welcoming you into the World Championships and then also exiting the World Championships before after we got the announcement for next year's World Tournament. But it was a really cool concept. Beautiful, beautiful drone show. I can't say enough good things about it, but outside of just like the Great Lawn area, there's a lot of other stuff that you could do. And they had different photo stops, and they had like Funko stops where you could take pictures. There's just a lot going on, not just at the convention center. So that was a really cool thing as well. So this is the end of it right here with the Pokeball dropping in. And then I do have a few shorts. Hopefully the sound is not too loud. So this is me when I got to go to the Pokemon Center and just kind of look around a little bit. It was really, really cool. I know my experience was a little bit different. I'll talk a little bit more about that as I'm opening up the PSA grades in just a second. But it was really, really neat how they had all the exclusive merchandise. Unfortunately, it wasn't this way for everybody. And there's a lot of stuff Pokemon needs to do differently, and I think that they understand that. But there were people who were literally selling their spots in line. There were fights that were breaking out. There were arguments that were breaking out, things like that, because of all the exclusive items that people wanted. It was super sad. And then I didn't go to this scalper alley or anything like that where they had like an alleyway of all these things being resold right away, but trying to find a way to kind of police that better. I understand people are going to do their own thing, and more power to them, but there were people who were literally camping out in the Pokemon Center for hours at a time, even though you weren't supposed to do stuff like that, and they were putting up posts, on Facebook saying, hey, I'm here at the Pokemon Center for the next couple hours, what do you all want? It was kind of bad. It's really funny. I don't want to talk too loud over this, but I'll talk about this in a second. Oh man, hopefully you can hear it okay. So this is Sunny right here and his son Kuamu, the most amazing people I've ever met before.
Travel across the land, searching far and wide. Teach Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon. Dude, what's going on? Thank you so much.
So this is where I got to meet with Bear Walker. He signed my skateboard, which was really cool, and talked a little bit about the design.
Pikachu, which they did a great job on, but essentially they gave it to me, and then I creative directed how I want the board for this thing to look. So the first piece I think was like a signature piece of it, is I created like this water outline frame, and then I wanted the reflections from the background art to really show through, so I put that on top of the wood tone, which I think adds a good pop. The main thing is the Yokohama board is probably one of my favorite boards. So good. So I had that beside this board the whole time I was designing it. So if you had the Yokohama and this board, they're going to go together. And then all future Worlds boards, I'm going to kind of do in the same fashion. So you almost create your own series out of the World Series.
That's so cool. Like a story.
Yeah.
Storyline.
Yeah, it's like your passport for every year. You know what I mean? Good.
Dude, thank you so much. This is amazing.
So cool.
Hey, what's going
Oh
on?
man, this is so dorky.
Here at the World Championships of Pokemon in Honolulu, Hawaii.
I just traded for these awesome cards. I heard PSA was around in the area, so I'm gonna go drop these off for submission. Just see what we get.
So like half a mile away from the actual World Championship, there was a big card show that was going on at the mall. This is like the biggest outdoor mall in the United States. It's absolutely massive.
I'm here in beautiful Hawaii. Now the PSA is here.
I feel so bad for this guy from
I wanna get
PSA.
a bunch of stuff graded. I got an awesome stack of cards here.
You wanted
It's
no
a
part of
long
this
card
at
show.
all.
I'm gonna drop them off with my friend Josh here. They've got an exclusive Hawaiian exclusive cover for their PSA magazine that I can't wait to pick up. It's gonna be awesome.
Thank you guys for dropping us off with this. Take one of our PSA cups.
Oh my goodness.
So the card show, that's it. That's everything. So the card show was really cool. It was really big. It was really hot. There was a lot of people there, but PSA was there. They were doing drop-off submissions, and I was like, hey, why don't I drop off some of the things that I bought from different members of the team and things like that. I was like, that way I can just get it graded. I don't have to take it home or anything like that. So I went over there, dropped it off, and I do actually have the results back from that. So that we're going to open these up and just kind of see what we get. It was a lot of the like the Paradise Resorts and stuff like that. So we'll see how this goes. But going back to, I ended up going running when I was down there pretty much every morning, just on the beach, which was a lot of fun. And one morning I ran into the guy who was playing the ukulele, which is Sunny. And he was so nice right away. Like he ended up working at the hotel, and he was I asked him one night, I ran into him again. I was like, hey, do you play the ukulele by chance? I was able to get one from the Pokemon Center. Would you be willing to like play the Pokemon theme song? He's like, yeah, I guess so. And he like absolutely crushed it, but he was trying to tune it for like 15 minutes. And it's just the exclusive ukulele is probably not for, it's more of a novelty item, more of a display piece, I would say, than an actual working ukulele. But seriously, Sonny, if you're watching, you and your family are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for making my experience so much better. I had an amazing time, so thank you so much for that. All right, so we're going to crack into these slabs. They're pretty much all Paradise Resorts except for 2 cards, and we're going to go through them pretty quick. I think there's only 2 cards that are not Paradise Resort. So right here we've got a Gem Mint 10. Very, very cool. I think that's Korean right there. Then we've got a Gem Mint 9, which I also believe is Korean. So here's a Mint 9. I don't know why I said Gem Mint 9. Like, that's not a thing. Mint 9. I believe that is the French copy of the Paradise Resort. And then I don't even know which this one is, but it's a Gem Mint 10. So I think this is Chinese, maybe. But that's pretty cool right there. And then we've got the other box right here. We ended up only submitting, I think there was like 3 different packs that we ended up submitting. And then there was a double colorless energy champion stamped double colorless energy, which is a really, really cool piece that I've wanted to grade for a long time and just haven't. So I graded that as well. And then an exclusive Professor Program card as well that we picked up that I wanted to grade as well. So just wanted to get all that done. Here's the Professor Program right here. So this is the community center right here. So that got a 9. And then we've got a tie Gem Mint 10 Paradise Resort. So that's not bad. Gem Mint 10 for that one. Really the big ones that you want, I believe, are the Japanese ones. You want those to be PSA 10 and the English ones. So we've got a Paradise Resort in Indonesian, which got a 9. This one is, I think, Korean, got a 9. Here's the double colors energy right here. So this got a near mint 8, but it's champion stamped up there. So there's only, I forget how many there are in existence, but not many. So very cool. I wanted to get this taken care of. But North American Championship, there's not many out there, so really, really cool. We've got a Spanish Paradise Resort. That one got a 9 as well. Here is a English one right here. So this one got a 9. Unfortunately, not a 10 for that one or this one. This is Indonesian again. That one got a 9. Italian PSA 9 for that one as well. Lots of 9s it looks like, unfortunately. So here's another English one right here. That got a PSA 9. PSA 9 is still obviously good. These come in packs, so it's always a little bit difficult because they rub up against each other and they're just kind of thrown into a backpack. Here's an Italian Gem Mint 10. Here's a Japanese 10, so that one's actually really good. Japanese Paradise Resort, Gem Mint 10, and another one. So we did get Japanese. We got a couple PSA 10s, which is really exciting right there. Over here, we've got another Gem Mint 10. I think that's the Chinese, simplified Chinese. So a couple of 10s for that one as well. Actually, I think we got 3. That's really cool. Very neat. So 3 Gem Mint 10s for that one, and then a 9. So those are the grades that we just got back. Really, really cool. I really wanted to get the double colorless energy graded. I've been sitting on that one for quite some time, waiting to turn it in. So overall, I mean, the experience was absolutely phenomenal. It was absolutely amazing. If you've never gone to the World Championships before, I highly recommend checking out. It was just the people that you meet and just being able to interact and hang out with, like I said before, like-minded individuals. It's just nothing compares to it. So I hope you guys were able to get a little bit of that. I'm sorry that I'm not great at editing. I'm not great at throwing stuff together and like even filming things like that. Like that's my biggest struggle when it comes to all of this stuff. But I really appreciate you guys for everything. Like I know I said at the beginning of this video, this wouldn't happen without you guys. So thank you so much for everything. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love you guys. I really appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow with a stream, and then Thursday with another video. Until next time, peace.